there's two ways to look at it. Either I could, be sad about the situation, and people obviously would, understand, going through 5 surgeries and your mother dying, and obviously it's a ton of bricks falling on top of you from the middle of nowhere, from going from being a regular yeshiva bacher to, having the world turned upside down.
Hi everybody, it's Aryeh Fingerer, and welcome back to the Jewish and Joyful Podcast, episode 6 of our Happiness series. This week's episode is an interview with Yossi Hecht. Yossi is a huge inspiration for me. He's inspired thousands of people. He had 2 major tragedies in his life, and he got through them, always remaining happy and joyful. We're going to be discussing how does he recommend people get through these challenging times. Yossi is also the founder of Asher to the Yatzar, an incredible organization. We're also going to be talking about Ohr Olam Mishna Berurah, the revolutionary project that's changing the world, and Parsha Shaliki Torah propagation. And now for this week's episode with Yossi Hecht. Welcome, Reb Yossi.
How are you?
Baruch Hashem, I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay, great. Please just tell us a bit about yourself, a bit about your history and background.
So basically, I was a regular, in yeshiva. And then about 4 years ago, I started having pain in my legs, and I went to my doctor, and he was, quite nervous, and I went to the emergency room, and they took an MRI of my spine, interestingly enough, not the feet, because the spine controls everything, and they found that there was a tumor there, unfortunately. So I had to have it removed, and one of the repercussions of having it removed is that, it causes paralysis. So, now for the last couple of years, I've been in a wheelchair.
And Yossi, we know that you had another very hard challenge during this time regarding your mother, right? She passed away. She was nifter.
She was nifter. Right, I came home from the hospital. I still remember the dates. It was after Yom Kippur. I came home before Sukkot a number of years ago, and then a month or two later, she started having pain in her back, and she thought because maybe she was helping with the wheelchair, maybe that's why her pain was back. But we took some tests and MRIs, and after a number of months, they found out she had stage 4 breast cancer, and that's basically what happened. So before we knew it, she was already spread everywhere, and we couldn't really stop it, and unfortunately, she passed away.
Oh wow! So throughout the whole ordeal, and especially now, you're always besimcha, you're always going around smiling. How do you persist through these challenges? Did you have a motivation? You had an inspiration?
So it's a wonderful question. It definitely helps to have, family backing you. And obviously I had, tremendous support from my parents and from my siblings. And that definitely, helped. I also had my Rabbeim were from Darche in my yeshiva. They were unbelievable. I was fortunate to have all that support. But then I looked at it there's 2 ways to look at it. Either I could, be sad about the situation. And people obviously would understand, going through,
of course,
5 surgeries and your mother dying, and so it's like a whole, obviously it's a ton of bricks falling on top of you from the middle of nowhere, from going from being a regular yeshiva bacher to, having the world turned upside down.
You don't have any previous history with your spine or legs, right?
No, I was
totally came by surprise.
Yeah, it was a surprise. So, obviously, people would understand if I wanted to, pout about it. But then I realized it's really not a gay, because what do we gain from, being sad? And there's 2 ways to look at it. Either you could be sad and, and live your life like that, or you could just say, what, I don't know why this happened, and maybe, I wouldn't ask for this, but, but once we have it, we try to overcome and try to push through, plow through. And I thought of a line recently, or it's probably a famous, I'm sure everyone, has heard of something along these lines. It's we don't write the script. We just have to follow the script. We don't write, Hashem's in charge, and he decides what each person has to do and must do, and what they should do, and what's going to happen to them. we have to go and follow along his plan.
Wow. So can you just tell us a little about more your organization, Asher to the Yatzar?
Yeah, so basically, after one of the surgeries, I couldn't use the restroom, and my Rabbi Kielsen said, you know what, let's start a campaign to inspire Klal Yisrael to start having more kavanah and appreciate their body, because frankly, I for years and 20 years I didn't appreciate my body as much as I should have, and it's not about Ashiat, it's about appreciating what we have, about thanking Hashem for all that He's done for us, and have our bodies and that work and that they function properly. And in the bracha it says, if there's, imagine, Chas v'chalila, someone has a little puncture in their lungs, they could lose oxygen, they could be in big trouble.
In one moment, everything could be over.
That's correct. That's what the bracha says. So that's really, we just, try to galvanize Klal Yisrael to do that. And, once we're on that topic, now I was listening to a shir from Rabbi Krohn. He spoke in my community, and he was talking about, Ashietzer actually, could be a schus for the matzav going on in Eretz Yisrael now, because everything, take small things, take Shmiras HaLashon, take Birchas HaMazon, there has to be something, and Ashietzer could be one thing, because it's, hoping that, Rahman al-Islam, we should never know such things. The hostages are okay and they're functioning properly, and we want to make sure that all Yidden are safe, and that's why, maybe this could be one of the Kabbalah that Rabbi Krohn was saying.
I was wondering if you ever had to start the Rabbeim, they're known to say you should appreciate all your body's functions and everything. Appreciate before you lose it. We all know that, but we don't internalize that. You were a regular, healthy person. Then all of a sudden you went through all this. So what do you have to say about that?
The Rabbeim say that, and to tell you the truth, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. It's 100% correct, because that's why I try telling people it happened to me, and appreciate what you have. So I'm telling you what it's like, and trust me, appreciate you could walk, appreciate you could talk, appreciate you could see, appreciate you could hear, appreciate everything, appreciate your footwork. So how much nerves body? How much nerves there are on the body?
How many?
Billions, probably hundreds of billions of nerves. There's tens of billions of nerves, and therefore a little trauma to my spine from a surgery, or 5 actually, that could cause that nerves are not working properly. It's like there's a famous story. Someone came to a Kir rabbi in Aish. I might be mixing the details, you'll forgive me, and they said, Rabbi, you tell me God cares about, me, small little being? He's like, you know what, why don't you, he's like, it's a good question. Follow up with me in a few weeks. So he gives, so fine, they follow up. And she tries to email him, but he claims when they meet a month later that he never got an email. He said, what? He's like, the not from person said, what are you talking about, Rabbi? I emailed you. So what's the email you emailed me? She said, Rabbi, let's say we'll just call him Rabbi K. Rabbi K at Aish and at Aish.com. But the problem was she forgot the period. He's like, oh, 1 second, the period, it's so small, it's minute, it's teeny, you could barely see it. But one little dot, you missed the whole boat. You cannot get the email through. So same too is with we might think, oh, Hashem's involved in every little thing, and we have to just do our part, and Meretz Hashem, that's close. Hashem will send refuahs, and we won't need to come out the doctors.
I personally read your book that Rabbi Moshe David Leibowitz wrote, and I recommend it to everybody. It's called Asher Yatzar. And Rabbi Yossi, what's your website for people to see the videos? And
AsherToTheYatzar.org. ASHER to the YATZAR.org.
I actually saw the video of you. It was very emotional, inspiring. That was when you're able to use the bathroom again. When you made that, when you're able to say Asher Yatzar. Yeah,
that was it was pretty amazing. Yeah.
And then, obviously had a new whole outlook on the bracha v'ashiyotzer.
Yeah. I want to end off with a wonderful story, that somebody with a challenged child, disabled or whatever, came to Rebbetzin Osban. It was the yeshiva of Telz, his wife. So he came to the Rebbetzin and said, Rebbetzin, what should I do with this baby? So she said, let me tell you something. I'm a Holocaust survivor. And if you would give me $10 million, $100 million, $1 billion, $10 billion, no, I would never go through the Holocaust. You could give me all the money in the world, I'd rather be a pauper. I would never go through the Holocaust. But once I did go through the Holocaust, and now Baruch Hashem, I'm a survivor of the Holocaust, the lessons I learned are invaluable. Money can't buy them. The lessons I learned of emunah, of bitachon, of the different stuff that you learned to power through, that she cannot take, that you can no longer could buy for money. So she was telling this person, it's similar to what I said before, actually, about we don't write the script, you have to follow the script. The Rebbetzin husband was really saying that. She's saying, you didn't ask to have this child, but once you have it, the lessons you're going to learn are going to be invaluable, immeasurable. And that's because, hopefully, Baruch Hashem, everyone listening should, not need to come on to doctors, not to be challenged in this yainus.
Yeah.
But once we, everybody has their pekel, everybody has, what they have to work on to be better people, especially in Gullus. And that's chus, if everyone working on what they have to work on and getting through and powering through and understanding that this is all for our best. And that's chus, then everyone in Eretz Yisrael will be safe, and we'll reunite in Eretz Yisrael for the coming Mashiach to Kidem Amen very soon.
Amen. Yes, I just want to share. My father told me that he once went to the ICU to visit a patient, and he was in the room, and then the monitor is going up and down, then all of a sudden it goes flat. So my father's like, oh, it's nice and peaceful now, right? And then all the nurses come running in, they're screaming code blue, code red, whatever they scream, and everyone's going crazy. So he said, what happened? So they said, when it was going up and down, that means there's a heartbeat. But when it's smooth, that means there's no life anymore. So the nimshal he gave was, obviously in life, we all have challenges. It's never smooth. Some days are going to be up, some days are going to be down. A life with no challenges is not a life.
It's Meyer beautiful.
Yeah.
You gotta always, meaning is as long as there's something pulsing, then we know we're in good hands. Beautiful, wonderfulness.
Before we get back to this week's episode with Yossi Hecht, I want to tell you about an incredible project, a revolutionary project that has changed the world and has changed my life as well. Our Ohr Olam Mishna Berurah features a readable and amazing translation and clear elucidation of the Shulchan Aruch and Mishna Berurah. This is making the whole practical world of Allah accessible to all sectors of the Jewish community, Jews of all backgrounds. It has a beautiful commentary, incredible pictures. Check it out. Go to your local bookstore. Get their Ohr Olam Mishna Berurah. They have on so many topics. They have so far 21 volumes out in print, with many more coming soon, Be'ez Hashem. You can visit the website r-olam.org. You could call 718-506-0101. You could email and get their notifications and updates by emailing rolam.mb@gmail.com. For more information, please see the show notes. We'll also like to tell you about Parsha Knowledge, the provider of this podcast. Parsha Knowledge is a beautiful weekly Torah publication with Torah thoughts, stories, and inspiration on Luki Parsha. It's amazing for people of all backgrounds and ages. To sign up, please email parshanknowledge@gmail.com, or you can visit parshanknowledge.com. And now back to this week's episode with Yossi Hecht. So one more question, please.
Yeah.
Who is the happiest person that you know?
Happiest person I know. I'll answer that the happiest person I know is no longer alive, but it's one of the closest people to me was my mother, Alav Shalom, and that's really where, she taught me this simcha, to always be b'simcha, and with every nisyana she had, and there was many nisyanas she went through, and she always said, Hashem's in charge, Hashem's going to be the best, and it's really that schus that, I credit to her for helping me get through this, and Baruch Hashem, my simcha allowed me to, Baruch Hashem, get married this past year.
Wow, yeah.
And,
amazing.
Yeah. So she's definitely, it's a wonderful question, and I think I definitely would pick her as the happiest person I've ever met.
Rabbi Sol Salanter said that your face is Rishos HaRabim, but inside of you is Rishos Yachid, which means that your face is public property, but inside of you is private property. Because you could be go throwing some certain things in life, but it has to be inside of you, outside of you. You have to always try to put on a smile.
I hear that. That's taka true. It's fair, and then, sometimes if a hard day, it's good to keep that in mind. Everyone has a hard day, but you got to realize that people are counting on us to give them a smile, give them a nice word. We
never know how far one smile could go. One positive word.
That's true. That's true. Very true.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on, Reb Yossi.
Okay, thank you. Keep up your good work, Aryeh. Keep it up.
I hope you all enjoyed this week's episode. Please follow and subscribe for more. Please remember to check out Ohr Olam Mishna Berurah, the revolutionary project that's changing the world. And subscribe to Parsha Knowledge by emailing parshaknowledge@gmail.com. You can check out our posts and videos at parshaknowledge.com. B'ez Hashem, we have some more incredible guests, interviews, and videos coming. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.